this is going to make things more convenient for me, but what am I giving up in order to get that convenience?
Yeah. Especially when you go onto websites, when you click accept, do you know what you're accepting?
Usually, no.
Yeah, it's like when you open up the privacy tab or the terms and conditions.
In order, yeah.
It's like 3 pages long. Who's sitting there reading those
Nobody's
stuff?
going to read that. Most of us, like if you go to a website or you like, in order for you to move forward or enter their website, they make you click these terms of service.
Or like
you don't even know what the hell you're doing. Yeah, accepting cookies.
Yeah, but but even if you read it, do you really understand what you're reading? If there's a technology that recognizes my face, can they duplicate that
or do something
and do something else with it?
Right.
So that's when I feel like it becomes very invasive. Or the fingerprint.
Yep,
I don't turn that on. That's why you see me physically typing in a passcode. Welcome to the Magnetic Mismatch Show. This is Linda.
And this is Will. Why are you wearing mismatched socks again?
The dryer ate my socks. I don't know.
Dude, you're the worst with socks. It always gets lost.
I don't know where they go. That's the problem. Maybe you're stealing them.
Why would I steal your socks? It's like, it's crazy.
But I folded everything and there's mismatched socks.
It probably happens to everybody, but I feel like for you, it happens more often. Because you know why? You wear those short little ankle socks. So when it washes, when it bunches up, it's like this little ball. And when you're folding it or you're mixing it with other stuff.
Where does it go?
I don't know. You tell me. I'm asking you.
I think it's the machine. It's eating my socks.
Where would the machine suck it into?
I don't know.
It's in the dryer. It's in the washer. It's not like you're at a public place doing laundry.
Maybe it's a sock monster.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So what's today's topic?
Are we living under a microscope?
Clearly.
Well, yeah, the machine is eating my socks.
What do you mean by living under a microscope?
I'm just talking about, so this topic came up. The reason why this topic came up, and I was talking about it with Will earlier this week, was because Alexa started talking. I was studying.
What's Alexa?
Quiet. It's like Alexa it's an Echo Dot. Well, we have the Echo Dot, but there's the Echo. It's powered by Amazon. So basically, it's a device where you call it Alexa, and you can ask it to play music, bring up recipes, like just anything.
Kind of like your assistant,
your
right? Like your digital assistant.
Yeah, it's kind of like Siri for your
smartphone.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. So it started talking by itself.
Well, what was she saying?
I don't know. She was just saying, "Oh, she can't understand that," or I don't know. Just like she would turn on randomly and then start playing music. And I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. Okay, that's scaring me. So
freaking you out?
Yeah, it started freaking me out, and I started looking up stories, and I guess it's pretty common. It's happened to other people, and they talk about how easy it is for Alexa to get hacked. So that, that made me a little bit more nervous. But, I didn't think much of it. But then, recently, it started this one morning. I came into the bathroom. I like to play music in the morning. And I was asking Alexa to play music. But for some reason, she just kept spinning, like the lights.
Yeah.
But you said that happens when she gets disconnected from the Wi-Fi. But
yeah, that's what I thought. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
But on the app, it says that I was connected. But I don't know, it just kept spinning and I couldn't get it to stop. So I'm like, I got scared. I'm like, maybe this thing is either one, possessed, or two, someone hacked it. So I just decided to disconnect Alexa. And I'm like, if I want to play music, I'm going to play it on my phone, and period. Right? And then...
Damn, that's such a good opportunity. to prank you, that would have been great if I was the one doing that.
If you knew how to hack.
Yeah, if I knew how to like get you freaked out like that easily with the technology stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know, is it because the types of questions I was asking on Google, that it prompted a similar article, like similar types of articles to start showing up on my feed. But the next story I happened to read was a lady whose baby monitor got hacked. And I guess the baby monitors, like I guess with the baby monitor, one is in the room and the other one is with the parents, right?
Okay.
So a guy's voice started talking through that baby monitor, saying
to
that
the baby.
To the mom. Well, yeah, to the baby and to the mom, saying that like the baby's been kidnapped or something.
What the hell?
Yeah, so she got freaked out. She ran into the room, but then luckily the baby was still there. But the monitor got hacked by someone.
Oh wow!
Because he kept talking.
Dude, if you're a parent and you see
I would
have
my heart would literally
like,
probably stop. Yeah, and I've that's when I realized that these devices, they're nice to have. Like it's very nice to go, Alexa, please play whatever song you want.
You tell Alexa, please.
Yeah.
Damn, you're so like polite.
Yeah.
Alexa, please play my music.
Yeah. It's very convenient, or to ask a random question, or Alexa, how's traffic? Just random stuff. But I realized that with the convenience, also privacy is an issue too.
Yeah, I mean, until you brought that up more recently, like this only happened like last week or earlier this week.
Yeah,
when we were talking about
it, but it happened prior.
Because I'm like, because I was calling for Alexa to do something for me too.
Because we had multiple Alexas in the house.
We have two.
They're not called Alexa. They're called Echo.
Yeah, Echo Dots.
Echo Dots. Yeah, we have multiple. But Will was using his, and he was screaming at it because he wouldn't. Yeah, because it wasn't listening to you.
She wouldn't listen to me.
Yeah, she wasn't listening to you, and she kept doing other stuff. And then I'm like, yeah, that's the reason why I disconnected her.
No, yeah. Then you told me the story, and then I'm like, oh crap! And then I got freaked out, and then I went over there and I unplugged that Alexa too. But yeah, it got me thinking too. You're right. It's not something that, because nowadays, especially, I mean, it's 2020, so we all have smart devices. We all have a lot of technology, things that we use on a regular basis that we don't even think twice about, right? Mm-hmm. And the more advanced technology gets, like I've been in homes where they have these things called like smart homes, where it controls your lights, it controls your temperature of the rooms, and you can control it from your phone or whatever, right? You can, I mean, those doorbell things too.
Yeah.
The Bluetooth, I don't know if it's Bluetooth. No, actually it's Wi-Fi, right? It's connected. There's like a camera to your front door. People use that technology to protect themselves against like porch pirates, mm-hmm. where people are stealing Amazon packages and stuff. So you can have like just so much technology incorporated inside of your home, and you don't even realize like, what am I giving up to have that technology?
But see, that's the thing. You install those technologies to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Right? If it's working correctly.
Right. Well, as intended.
As intended. Which is great, because when you're away, it's good to be able to watch your house to make sure that no one's entered, or everything is good. But
there's the downside,
the downside of it is, if it gets hacked, now your safety is compromised because someone is watching you, and they know when you're home or when you're not home.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a fine line. It's like, okay, so
double-edged sword. I think.
Yeah. What should you install
mm-hmm.
to keep yourself safe?
Yeah, because there's also like this thing called Google Nest. Is that what it's called? You know what I'm talking about? Where like it's a device that you can put in your home. Some people put it like, I don't know, like in their kitchen or whatever. Like you were saying, to kind of use it as a surveillance for protecting your home while you're away or whatever. So it has a camera, and it basically can look at your house or that room like in a 360 way. Mm-hmm. But like you were saying, what if somebody uses that for other reasons that not for insecurity, not as intended?
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy and scary.
Very scary.
But like when you buy that kind of device, you're not thinking necessarily about that side. you're just thinking, hey, this is for protection, for security, for monitoring, right? Protecting our family. But in reality, it could be used the other direction, the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know. And who knows what other technologies, right? That's going to come down the line.
Because this is only like, I feel like the tip of the iceberg, right? Yeah. There's so many new technologies that are in the talks right now. Mm-hmm. Like Elon, right? He created a device where it helps your brain integrate with data. Is it databases, or I don't really know too much about it.
So he's talking about, so Elon Musk just came out with this chip that's supposed to be the size of a coin. And they're thinking about implanting that into somebody's brain. It's not really readily available yet for humans, but they're experimenting on pigs and stuff like that. So he was talking about how like that technology is kind of like a Fitbit, but for your brain. So it can monitor, like a lot of different things, including like helping people potentially with mental illnesses. It can potentially help somebody with blindness. He was talking about, it's kind of crazy, like that capability, the potential.
Yeah, but they were talking about that's also a way to help humans integrate into a world of exponential technology, so we can analyze data like the way a computer would be able to analyze.
It's kind of coming out like straight out of a science fiction novel, like seriously, like we're becoming like more like cyborgs.
Yeah.
It's nuts, because then imagine like if he puts that chip in your brain and then they can just download information, like you all of a sudden like know martial arts or something, or like
another language. I'm gonna go to France and now I speak French.
Yeah, you know how like they show that in like The Matrix or whatever, these other movies where that's it. You just download the data into your brain. You can learn anything, and all of a sudden, you don't even need to go to school and stuff like that anymore.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool to think about, but that's, what else can they put in your head?
Yeah, but what if that technology goes wrong too? Because we don't really know, like all these waves that are, we're exposing ourselves to, right? All these technology, they all have different frequency of energy. Mm-hmm. So we really don't know the long-term effects on the human health as well.
Yeah. But I mean, I think for our topic right now, we're talking more too about just, that's pretty invasive, talk about privacy invasion, right?
Because I mean,
something in your body.
Yeah, but yes, that technology can help you do things, but it can also maybe record your thoughts too.
Yeah.
And the way you behave.
Right.
So that's very invasive.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about. It's not here yet, but I mean, that's what they're working on. So it's kind of mind-blowing, to know that maybe it's some years down the road we're going to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean like today that we don't have things where you do sometimes feel like you're under a microscope. Even as simple as like the other day, like when I was just looking for some dumbbells, right? Online on Amazon, trying to like find some dumbbells during the quarantine. And by the way, there's like a whole shortage of dumbbells right now. Trying to buy like gym equipment is really hard. But anyways, so like I couldn't find what I was looking for. And then I closed the window out and I'm on my computer. And then all of a sudden an ad pops up when I got back on, and it was like dumbbells, but through a completely different company. Mm-hmm. And when I was searching or browsing the web, just looking at news articles, those ads would pop up.
Yeah.
Weightlifting stuff or working out equipment.
Yeah, those ads are very it's very interesting. As soon as you search for something, it's like it knows your behavior.
Yeah.
It's like something.
They're called smart ads.
Yeah, they're like tracking your behavior. And especially when you go onto websites, when you click accept, do you know what you're accepting?
Usually no.
Yeah, it's like when you open up the privacy tab or the terms and conditions.
In order,
it's like 3 pages long. Who's sitting there reading those?
Nobody's gonna read that. Most of us, like if you go to a website or you like, in order for you to move forward or enter their website, they make you click these terms of service.
Or like
you don't even know what the hell you're doing. Yeah, accepting cookies.
Yeah, but even if you read it, do you really understand what you're reading?
Well, and then the other thing is, it's kind of like you feel as if, well, if I don't accept, then all of a sudden I don't have access to that information or
that you need,
that I need, or that piece of software or whatever that you're trying to access.
Yeah.
Like all those companies are going to require that you accept their terms.
Yeah.
Except we just don't even know what we're accepting. Because it's so common. You know, nowadays it's like everything. There's so many of these terms and service for using their programs or whatever. And how do you function without those things nowadays? Because everything is so integrated with technology.
Yeah.
I mean, to give you an example, even something as innocent as like TikTok, you know, that app, that social media platform. I think it recently got banned or something out here in the US, but I'm not sure. I have to read about it. But like we installed it, remember? Like, or I installed it because it was just like kind of fun. Yeah, just check it out, see what it's about. And it's very entertaining and addicting. But then they were finding out that like when you install the app and you're agreeing to their terms and stuff, one of the things you're agreeing to is that they can collect data on you. And I guess apparently they're finding out that there was like spyware that they put on there. No. So they're kind of like looking at your behavior or stealing information on your phone. Yeah. That's scary. And
because selling information is very lucrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of companies do it.
Yeah. And a lot of companies will buy data as well.
Yeah. So they were saying that like, because it's a Chinese owned company or something like that from China, and that they're like spying on you. But to be fair, there's like other apps and things like that, like Facebook, right? That also takes a lot of your personal information. Too. Instagram, and how many people use those apps and programs.
Absolutely.
Like we use it too. And it's like, oh, never think twice about like what kind of information am I giving them? Mm-hmm. You know, like sometimes you feel like these companies know more about you than you do about yourself.
Yeah.
Because they're like tracking all your behavior, your buying behaviors, your browsing behavior. What are you looking up?
Yeah.
They have so much information on us.
Yeah.
So anyways, when I found out about that, then I got freaked out, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to uninstall this sucker. But I don't know what I've already given up.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, love.
See, now it's like with the technology, we're being tracked and quote unquote stalked on like virtually. So you don't see that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So to compare that into real life, it's kind of like people who are famous.
Sure.
Right? They're getting constantly followed and stalked, but at least you can see those stalkers and followers and people asking for their pictures and invading their privacy.
Yeah.
But the scary part of, I feel like with the technology is digital. You don't see it. You don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere.
Right. And like I said, it's become a way of life.
Yeah.
So it's so normalized that it's almost the opposite, where if you don't consume the social media, or if you don't use the technologies today, right now, you're socially outcast too. You're looked at as the weird one. You're in the minority, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know, like for example, if somebody doesn't have like a social media page
or presence
or anything, it's like people are more shocked. It's like, wait, you don't have Facebook? Wait, you don't have Instagram? It's kind of like, it's weird not to have it.
Yeah.
But again, like for the people that do have it, like our information is out there.
Yeah.
Somebody can easily pull up your data. Like, and we sometimes post and it's innocently, we'll give up a piece of information about ourselves that we didn't intend. But it's kind of like, oh, I'm here, checked in at this restaurant, or
people take a photo accidentally
of their house,
or like a part of a street of their house.
Yeah.
And now people are able to stalk.
Dude, it's crazy how good people are, like with playing detective and like using a little bit of information. They'll like do tons of research, and you hear stories about it where they'll find them. Like you said, they just saw a corner of a street sign or something on that photo, and boom, they can trace it to somebody.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. People are very good at stalking. Some people are.
Yeah. It's kind of like that show, right? That we saw that we both liked on Netflix. You.
So basically the premise of the show is, I'm not going to give too much details just in case you want to watch it. But
you should watch it. It's good.
You should watch it. It's very good. But basically he gets obsessed with a girl, and he stalks her every move based using social media or
hacking her
phone or stalking her friends, and he'll learn the behaviors of her friends, what they like, what they don't like, to try to fit in and integrate himself into their lives.
It's kind of creepy.
It's creepy, but I was telling Will that makes me kind of scared when I'm dating someone. If you know, if I'm in the dating space or realm, you know, you go on a date and, you know, the guy is like, oh, so what's your sign, or what month are you born in?
What's your sign?
Yeah, like, you know, like Capricorn or Gemini or whatever.
What's your name? What's your sign?
I would be hesitant. I'd be like, I don't know. Maybe he's like, you know, it's Googling my birthday, my name and birthday. A lot of things can come up. Or, you know,
well, how many of us too put our birthdays on Facebook?
Yeah.
Like without even thinking twice about it. It's like, wait a minute, why would you put that out there? But again,
or like if I invite him over, you know, after dating a while, if I invite him over in my house, is he stalking my ID? Right? Yeah. Like you get freaked out.
Yeah, no, I get that. It is like I said, a lot of times we use these things, or we just don't think about it. It's just not something we normally would think about, or it's so innocent. You know, like I said earlier, like you used to get mad at me too. Like when I would like, you know, like years ago, it was the big thing, right? Checking in at this restaurant, checking in at this location.
Yeah.
And then I think, I don't know if I heard the story from you or one of my other friends, but they were talking about how like somebody had followed them, like probably from another friend I heard, like they were following them, I guess like an ex or something, and they went to the restaurant and they showed up like while they were there with their other friends and stuff like that.
I've heard
that's freaky because
I've heard with the check-in.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, for especially, well, back then when people, you know, when that was a popular thing.
Yeah.
That's how people would know that they're not home and rob their house.
Oh man. Yeah, because, you're right.
Because you're checked in at a location. They know no one is home.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's how I got mad at you for checking in, because you were obsessed with that thing for a while. I'm like, stop checking in.
I fell into the bandwagon.
Yes. I'm like, check in after we leave or something.
Right. Yeah. But it's not necessary. You know what I mean?
It's not.
It's like, why would you tell everyone like exactly where you're at, where you're going, or places you frequently go to? Like someone, if they wanted to be nefarious or do like bad things, right? Crimes or something like that, like you're just making it so easy for somebody, you know, or you're making yourself vulnerable when you don't have to. Yeah. But like I said, it's hard nowadays because it is such a normalized thing. And we don't think so much about our privacy. But I feel like as technology advances and we have all these tools at our disposal, like at what point do we draw that line of saying, you know what, enough is enough? Or, hey, like this is going to make things more convenient for me. But what am I giving up in order to get that convenience?
Yeah.
Like simple thing like you were saying with the Alexas, it's like, it's nice. Right. Don't get me wrong. I love the technology to just say something and then boom, it'll play a music for you, or it'll make a grocery list for you, a to-do list, or check the weather, or read. Yeah. Like give me Alexa, give me a brief of the news, right? Yeah. And they'll give you a snapshot. Like that's nice, but then at what cost?
Yeah.
Like everything I ask, I bet there's some sort of like recognition, or they're like recording some sort of information about what you're asking too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Am I sounding a little paranoid, you think? Or
I think that
there's some truth to it,
yeah,
right?
I think that whole situation just got us thinking, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like that way we're not as careless anymore.
Yeah. Like I would blindly in the past too, like, oh, this sounds like a cool app on my phone. Let me just install it. But then what are you exactly installing?
Yeah.
You know, I get it though. So I'm not saying like, I mean, but what do you do? Like, can you function like in today's world without all these things that you need? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or that we feel like we need.
But I've seen the extreme too. People going cold turkey.
Yeah.
They just.
How do you function there though too?
They just unplug themselves from all.
That sounds nice, and I know we've done some purges too of like disconnecting.
Yeah. And
right?
it's nice. We've done that during vacations.
Yeah.
Where we unplug, no social media. the phones are off and only for emergencies.
We don't even touch our phones, really.
It feels so good.
It does. But then my question is, like, how do those people function in today's world, especially like with work? You know how like a lot of our work now, especially right now, where it's you've got to have an internet connection, you've got to have a computer, you know, you got to have Wi-Fi or something. Or am I just
No, I think they still have that. I think they just don't have like the social media stuff.
I see. They probably like try to limit to like what like their use time or what their dependency is. Cause I do feel like I'll admit it, like I guess I grew up now in a generation where I am more addicted to using technology in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I'll die without it, but it's more like I realize, oh my gosh, my own behavior. Like every morning, it's like sometimes I have this inkling, like I got to look at my phone first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
We've been really good about that, obviously, but that was because we were mindful of it.
Yeah.
But before that, it was
like the first thing I need to check my emails.
Yeah. Why?
Why?
I need to look at news. I was like, before I even like look over at you, and that's when you were getting mad. It's like, like you're glued to that phone. Like, what are you doing? You know,
like, hello, good morning.
Yeah, it's just like a nervous tick, and then like when you don't have your phone, it's like the worst. It's like you're in withdrawal. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
If you've ever lost, you've lost your phone or your phone is in repair, then it's like you reach in your pocket. Oh, it's not there. It feels empty. It feels weird.
Because you get addicted to
yeah,
it.
And you're constantly like just glancing at the phone or using it for browsing, you're checking your social media, browsing or something.
Yeah.
It feels weird when you're not doing something on your phone or like on your computer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, do you feel like, you know, with this technology, that would you be willing to give up some more of your privacy? And when would you say, no, we're not going to use that technology?
I think for me, if someone is able to watch me like physically through a camera.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like, you know how like your computer?
Yeah, it has a camera.
Yeah, your webcam.
Yeah,
right?
that's why. That's why I put a sticker on it when I'm not using it, because I'm paranoid.
That's actually really smart.
Because I'm really paranoid, or you know, your cell phone is someone watching you,
or hearing you, recording you. Oh, you're getting me scared now.
you really don't know, so you know. I mean,
but do you think people would be like, you guys are nuts? Like, you're just being paranoid.
I mean, yes, I think we can be a little bit overly paranoid, especially whoever is, you know, they'll probably get bored listening to us after 5 minutes, right? They could hear you playing games, typing away, and me on my YouTube.
Come on, I don't think they're really that interested in you. Come on.
Yeah, so for us, it probably.
I mean, those are examples.
Yeah. But they would be disappointed. I'm gonna tell you that for sure.
Will's I'm like in the living room eating cereal in my underwear.
Yeah.
Go ahead, dude. You can watch all you want, man. Like.
Yeah. It's like, oh, next family.
Yeah, seriously. Switch.
But I'm not saying just for us. I'm just saying, you know, just in general, right?
Yeah, and I know with that, it's kind of like more obvious, right? Like if somebody has the capability to watch you, but it's
more for me. It's not like, oh, watch. It's invasion of privacy. Is
and
one,
your habits and all that.
Yeah, and two, I think it's more of a safety issue that I'm concerned with.
I see.
Right? It's like if they hacked my cameras at home, you know, it's like they know when I'm not home.
Okay, but let's say that part is fine. Okay. Let's say you're good on that. You got, you know, the thing to cover your camera or whatever. But what about like what we were talking about earlier about them monitoring your behavior? And let's say like they're just using it to collect data on like how you shop and what you like, what's your trends and things like that. Are you okay with that? Like for marketing, for companies to use that on you?
Yes and no, right? Because I understand with marketing, like the more, you know, to be effective, they have to find a way to target their audience.
Yeah.
So I understand that from that standpoint, but when it becomes beyond that, that's when I'm
anytime
a little,
it's
a little wary about. Okay, so what, like, you know, when you enter like your date of birth, right? Where's that information going?
I see.
So now I'm worried about identity theft.
I see.
Yeah.
Because like for me, I guess I would be okay too with the part where like if they're tracking my shopping behavior or like what I'm searching for, I guess I'd be more okay with that just because I like how like I don't know if you've noticed, but more and more companies are trying to make things very personalized.
Yeah.
Like even like when you go on Netflix or when you go on Amazon and you're doing your shopping, they're kind of tailoring that experience based on your behaviors and based on the information that they've
there
collected
are
about
certain
you.
things that are very invasive too that I've turned off on my smartphone is facial recognition.
Ah, yes.
Right? I did not turn that on because I feel like, okay, if there's a technology that recognizes my face, can they duplicate that
Or do something
and do something else with it?
Right.
So that's when I feel like it becomes very invasive. Or the fingerprint.
Yep.
I don't turn that on. That's why you see me physically typing in a passcode.
Now you're making me think about that because I have that right now. I'm using the fingerprint thing.
Yeah, I get nervous because I'm like, okay, that's being recorded somewhere. And I don't know, with science, like I don't know. Oh, I don't know how long this was ago, but cloning exists now, right?
Yeah.
They successfully done it with sheeps. Dolly was the first cloned sheep.
Had a name?
Yeah, she's famous.
I remember that, but I didn't know it had a name.
Yeah, Dolly.
Okay.
So yeah, Dolly was a clone and a perfect clone. Well, the only problem with Dolly, I believe, was it's been a while. But I think the only problem with Dolly was that she was aging a lot faster than a regular sheep.
I see.
But like genetically, right? She's a clone.
Yeah, and so that was like years ago. So imagine what it's like now, the technology.
Yeah, they're talking about cloning organs.
Yeah.
So yes, good if you get in a car accident and now you need to grow a new limb, but bad because now if they start, this is more like sci-fi, but these are thoughts.
We're having some fun with it.
But these are thoughts that sometimes go through my head, right? Because like you said,
you go down a rabbit hole for sure.
Yeah, I do. And okay, so I'm like, okay, so if people connect the dots together to do bad, right? They can clone someone with your facial recognition. Now they can do anything. It's identity theft
That's pretty invasive, right?
Yeah.
But again, it seems it's when they put that technology out, you don't think about it in that way.
Yeah.
It's very innocent. Like, oh, it's just I think about the convenience factor. Instead of punching in my code in the phone, I just put my finger on that pad for the recognition and boom, I'm in my phone, right? Or exactly like the iPhones, right? That's what they do is the facial recognition and you're done.
Yeah.
It opens.
Yeah.
But what are they doing with that information? They're obviously storing it somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like retinal, right? Where they scan your eye now. Like
retinal scanning.
Retinal scanning for security to add into other things.
That's crazy.
And then also, we were talking about the last time too, but we decided against it, which was like tracing your genealogy.
Oh.
By giving a
I thought about. I was like, oh, that's so fun, right? But then someone
you gotta give some backstory to people.
Okay, so
like what is it? And
okay, so there's this kit. I think there's different brands, but the one that most people will recognize is called 23andMe. So basically, you give a saliva sample you spit in a tube, and you mail it off. And based on the DNA that they collect from your saliva, they tell you like, oh, you're 10% European or 20% from whatever regions your ancestors are from.
They're tracing your genealogy and you're kind of like your family tree. Is that right? Is that what you call it? No.
Yeah, I guess like your roots basically, and but someone was mentioning to me to be careful of that or to think about it before I do it because I wanted to order a kit and they're
just out of curiosity.
And we were talking about it at work and one of my coworkers were like, you should be careful and think about it before you do it because they're talking about I guess in potentially they could sell your data to insurance companies in the future.
That's so weird.
And and based on your genetic makeup, like let's say you have a gene that causes an increased risk in cancer or whatever diseases, they may not allow you to buy insurance
And
anymore.
You won't even know why.
Yeah.
Right.
Or charge an extra premium.
Yeah.
You don't know why.
Yeah.
So they're like, you should be careful of that.
Interesting. Damn, talk about invasion of privacy too, right?
But I'm not saying they're selling data now, right? I don't know what their company like what their company policy is, because I didn't read into it carefully, but things can change. Policies can change. Who knows?
I mean, you're giving up a piece of you, or at least like your genetic material, and you're kind of shipping it off somewhere. And you don't know what really somebody's going to do with that stuff.
Or what kind of data they could sell from it.
And exactly. It's kind of like, damn, talk about really getting to know somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it started off as an innocent idea. Like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, we'll figure out our origins and all that stuff. But then when you think a little bit more deeply about it, it's like, wait, what is this costing me really? Yeah. What does it actually cost?
Yeah. I mean, we're not picking on that brand. I'm just giving like an example. Yeah, because like I said, we don't know, because who's gonna sit down and read all the terms and conditions and really understand what it is.
Yeah,
it's just something to think about before you do it. I mean, it sounds like a fun.
Yeah, and like I was watching, and this is more science fiction, but there was a show, I forgot what it was, that I saw a while back, and they did an episode where it was like, you get that you like send, like, same idea, right? You send them a piece of your genetic material or whatever, or a sample of something, and they clicked and they accepted. But guess what? You're accepting that now that's their property. So isn't that crazy? That's crazy. So they had this like whole episode about that, and like they didn't know at the time when they did it, like 20 years ago or before, that they had accepted that, hey, this is now the property of that company. And then 20 years later, they used it to like do something else with it that they didn't agree on.
Yeah.
And it's like
a double-edged sword, right? It's because crazy. Genetic testing has saved so many lives too. Yeah. But then now it's like, okay, so now they know you beyond just like the information you provide, right? It's a whole genetic makeup.
Yeah, just some like wild stuff to think about. I think for us, like kind of what prompted all of this was just it made us think a little bit more, and I think that's really what I wanted it. What I took away, from our conversation, which is just to be more mindful of what you're giving up. Yeah. Anytime you're agreeing to use something that, like, especially nowadays with technologies, that is supposed to make your life easier, but at what cost? And is it absolutely necessary for you to have that technology or software in your life?
Yeah.
Because privacy, you and I, like, that's pretty important for us. And I feel like, unfortunately, as we incorporate and integrate more technology into our life, sometimes I feel like that privacy is less and less. Yeah. We're losing that privacy.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to add, or anything that you think is valuable to kind of mention?
No, I think it's just, like you said, just think about, just whatever you decide to download or do, just think about just the safety aspect and what are you giving up. Don't just, blindly do something without really thinking about the consequences.
Yeah. And I think within relationships, sometimes it's like, what if like for me, I feel like I'm more into like gadgets and technology than you are.
Yeah.
And what if like I'm the only one that's cool with that, but then we're married, so it impacts you too. What if I wanted to have those cameras or that Nest or whatever in our house, but you're not cool with it?
I think you just need to talk about it, right? Yeah. Like, maybe you weren't even aware of, my fear.
I never even thought about that. Yeah.
Like the Alexa thing.
Yeah.
That I had.
I was like, hey, look, this is so cool.
That I had unplugged,
Yeah.
But like you weren't aware until I told you what happened.
Right.
Then it's like, okay, maybe it's not the best idea. Sometimes it's just awareness.
Yeah. not thinking it through to the other side. But yeah, no, that's true. Okay, well, I think that's it for us, guys. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And
let us know how you feel. Do you think technology and all of these stuff happening now, is it invasive? Like, and what are you doing to help protect yourself? Like, I'm curious to know as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
absolutely. So follow us on Instagram and YouTube. We're at Magnetic Mismatch. And make sure, if you enjoy our podcast, to give us a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. We're also available on all the other platforms like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, etc., etc.
Yeah, and we release a new episode every Thursday. And please share our contents with your family and friends.
Yeah. Until next time, guys. See you later. Bye.